Welcome
What's
back,
up?
folks. So, hey, welcome to Time Freedom Daily. This is your daily dose of information and knowledge that's going to help you attain whatever goals you're going for, whether it's financial freedom, time freedom. First thing I got to say is make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and let's start it off on a Friday. We got a really cool day today. We're going to go over the markets here in a second with Mr. Chris Adams, and we got a really special guest that's going to be jumping on here. So, Chris, take it away.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It's a good day. The markets are looking green, which is awesome to see. It's been one of those weeks. Oh, there you go. There's the green wave. Yep.
Markets
Yeah,
in the
it's
green.
it has been a week. But yeah, it's so I actually I'll share a little personal news. I got my second poke yesterday, which whoever's opinion is everybody's opinion. I decided to do that, and so I am not feeling amazing today. But this is one of those things when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to work all day, but you got to show up every day. So that's what I do. I cleaned myself up and got myself ready, and here we are. So
what's happening with the markets?
Yeah, exactly. So should I bring up the markets?
Yeah, see what the crypto market cap.
Yeah, we'll start there because it's looks good. Looks good. We're having a good day.
Are we back over $2 trillion in market cap?
We are. Market cap is just over 2 trillion at 2.068 trillion. 24-hour volume is 109 billion, give or take 100 million or so, which is just amazing numbers. Bitcoin dominance is at 43.1. Ethereum's at 18.4. So they're both rising up there together. We have a lot of really nice green numbers to look at. Bitcoin is up 10.5%, 24 hours, which is, man, we've been waiting for that a long time, and it's astonishing how everybody said this was going to happen in October, and here we are. So cheers to you guys that did not get scared and sell at the bottom and sell your way out. So diamond hands, cheers to you. Ethereum up 9%. Cardano coming in up 7.28% right now. And XRP up almost 10%, over $1. So good for XRP. And let me just bring up the highest 24 hours. Axie Infinity. That is a game. That is a blockchain game. It's a play to earn game. So that token is crushing it up to number 30. Amazing. Icon also up 24%. Rev near VeChain finally up 18%. Elrond, which is on our radar, we're watching that. Thor and Solana up 15%. So some really good movers there, which is great to see finally that these guys starting to move. So that's excellent there. And let me
the market sentiment here for October, November, December is very, very bullish. And if everybody doesn't know what bullish means markets are going to be moving on the upward trajectory. So, a lot of the people we follow, a lot of the information we're getting is September is normally a down month, which I mentioned yesterday. And October, if you don't follow Plan B, go check out Plan B, because his predictions for the last 2 months have been literally on the money. He predicted 47,000 at the end of August, and he predicted 43 at the end of September, which is right where we were. And now he's predicting $67,000 Bitcoin by the end of October. So let's go.
Yeah, I think 67 for October, and then it goes to like 97 for November, and higher than that for December. So we'll see how. I'm hoping that guy is as right as he seems to be. Right. And then the regular markets, the S&P is up 0.59. The Dow Jones is up 0.9. The NASDAQ is pretty flat. So that's good to see. It's been it hasn't been an easy market for them either, but it's good to see them creeping around.
Absolutely.
Do you want to bring up our guest?
Absolutely. So we got a really special guest. What we try to do on Fridays is bring you an interview of somebody who is out there trying to achieve goals, right? Entrepreneur, what are they doing on a daily basis? They're searching for time freedom. They're looking to build something, create, and do it on their own terms. And Paul Wilson, who is the co-owner of three different companies, and I've known him for over 20 years and seen him, start from scratch, and to see where he's grown his businesses. And I'm going to let him share the numbers, but I want to say that the businesses are now approaching $10 million in annual sales combined. Paul Wilson is, again, a good friend of mine, and he's going to share, some information. We're going to ask him some questions that we have here. Bring him up. Let's see Paul here.
He may be having some technical difficulties, so we'll give him a second. I know he's like an entrepreneur coming to us from his cell phone on the road, because that's how we roll. A lot of days that's just kind of what happens. So we'll see if we can get that worked out, because I'm like I said before, I'm not an envious person. I love hearing other people's stories and hearing how people did it, and hearing how what keeps him ticking, and kind of what was his decision point. Hopefully he can get his.
Waiting for him to respond. I don't know. We had him on here a second ago, and did he just drop off?
He did just drop off. So we shall see.
He just texted me, "I am seeing your camera with me in it, but I lost the two of you." Interesting.
Yeah, we are not seeing him.
Yeah.
Maybe tell him to reload.
Yep.
But we can go over. Let me share my screen again.
Sure.
Those of you
Look at that green wick. Woohoo!
Right? So that's what I just noticed. That's why I was going to bring this up. So those of you that do not, you're not into investing, you don't really know what's going on. Technical analysis is the analysis of charts and reading, what the trends are, what the probability of everything going up is. And it's a very powerful tool, because charts, they're not going to always be the same, but they will kind of, trend in a certain direction. And that's one of the things that I kind of do every morning is look what's going on in the charts and read these things. And so early, early this morning, in the middle of the night, this was the descending wedge that Bitcoin had been in. And you can see these huge ups and downs. And that's one of the things that we try and tell people, when you see a big drop, like you look at this, it went from 48,000, all the way down to 40,000. Yeah, that's some area for concern. People, people without a lot of this knowledge may, go jump off a bridge and freak out. They can feel like they've just lost a huge portion of their retirement. But if you realize that this is part of the wedge, and it's playing itself out in what these are, these descending wedges, and then the bottom starts to turn around, and then we have that breakout to the top. So that's kind of what we're seeing. And that's one of the things that John and I look at, so that we don't freak out when the market, or, when your asset drops $8,000 in a day, you watch the trends, you watch what it's done before. And like a lot of us will tell you, zoom out, and so if you zoom out far enough, you can see, and this is just Bitcoin, but you can see it goes up, comes way down, goes way up, comes way down, goes way up. So kind of like John said the other day, it's time in the market, not trying to time the market is what's important.
Absolutely.
Anything to add to that, John?
The crazy thing is, what I want to say is, there's a saying here in the crypto market: if you can't handle the 40% drops, you don't deserve the 4,000% gains.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Not everybody can handle these swings. And but when you understand what this innovation is doing to the financial markets, you need to do your research and do your due diligence into doing it. Because it's disrupting everything.
Yep.
The SEC is out there, trying to regulate everything, and the SEC is actually supposed to be protecting the consumer. But what are they doing? They're protecting banks, the ones that have been stealing for years from normal people like you and me. People that are holding our money in their banks, giving us very, very little, like 0.01% interest, and then charging us fees. So basically, we're paying banks to hold our own money. And you've got decentralized finance and cryptocurrency, which is paying you a dividend interest. Why would you not look at it? Why would it not disrupt the traditional market? So let's see here.
No, you're right. I still don't see Paul on, and I remember the other day we were going to talk about what got you into cryptocurrency, because I know you're super excited, but I see the pillows behind you, and it was your excitement that got me into the market, and so I love it as well. So
yeah, let's share that real quick. So we had a black swan event in 2020. COVID, hit everybody really hard, and there's the sentiment that I learned early by reading books, that when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy. So I saw that the traditional markets dipped huge, and right away I went into the traditional markets and I typed into Google. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not anything. I typed in what are the top companies that got hit the hardest price-wise on their stock from COVID. And I'm looking at all these companies and I'm like, these drops have nothing to do with the company, with the financials, with what the company's doing. And I took some of my money and I put it into those markets. And I saw literally within 45, 60 days, a huge recovery, like almost 100% gains on a lot of the stocks that I had purchased. And I'm thinking to myself, I started looking on YouTube and watching videos on stocks, and some cryptocurrency stuff started popping up. So I had been introduced to Bitcoin back in probably November of 17. No, 17, yes. And it was like 17, 18,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can remember when it was like $400 or $500. And I'm like, I can't believe I missed the boat. So I ended up not getting in at that time. And then I go into the cryptocurrency market and I see that Bitcoin had dropped all the way down to $3,000 from COVID, and it had recovered to about 7,000. So that's when I first made my initial purchase of a portion of a Bitcoin. And I kept funneling my money into there, just watching the videos and seeing everybody's excitement and understanding about the halving of Bitcoin, how it's being mined, and how the reduction of the supply can also generate an upward trajectory in the price. And so I got in and I just started keep putting in. I got into some other coins that seemed very, very promising. And I never really got involved in some of what we call meme coin, where it's really kind of like a pump and dump kind of coin. And I just found projects that had actual use cases and trying to solve a problem. And those are the products that I had invested in. And right now the portfolio is doing very, very well. I'm very excited, very passionate about it. I share with whoever wants to listen, along with the company that we also promote. And it's just one of those other things that I'm really, really passionate about, and very excited for the future. And I listened to a YouTuber last night, and he had a guest on, and it made a comment that was really, really cool. And I think I posted this on Facebook last night, that every generation is responsible for one major decision that they made. And I'm in my 40s. I'll be 48 next week, and I'm talking in the terms of generations according to my age. So my grandparents, the most important thing for them to do was to go to a university, because university was the biggest catapult to success in their era. And then for my parents, the biggest thing for your parents to do was to buy a house early on in their adulthood.
Yep.
Because by now that house will be paid off. And with the value of the housing market, they should be millionaires.
And go find a job and work.
Right.
Yep.
So that was their one thing to get right. And this person said, our generation, the first thing to do is to get into Bitcoin, because it's that generational idea, innovation, just like getting into the internet back in the 90s, of what we can do to create generational wealth. Because we know there's only 21 million Bitcoins ever going to be mined, and already 18.5 million of them have already been mined. So there's not that many left. And every 4 years, the production goes down by half. So we also need to talk about the millions of Bitcoins that are lost.
Right.
People that had mined them back in 2012, 2011, whatever, and they're on a computer hard drive somewhere, and they're in the dumpster somewhere. Millions of them that people thought they were useless or worthless. And now they're gone. So let's just say that the actual circulating supply all time is going to be about 17 or 18 million.
Right.
That even makes the supply even less, and the demand for it even more. Now that we've got banks, institutions, and companies holding it on their balance sheets, and for people to invest in, it's for me. It is for me. And this is not financial advice. It is an absolute no-brainer, and it would be absolutely the wrong thing to do, irresponsible, not to hold some.
Yeah, I agree. The other question is a lot of people ask, like, what are these coins? What do they do? Why do I need them? And some of them, like Bitcoin, is the biggest. I think the thought process is that's going to be the new gold. It's going to be digital gold. A lot of these other coins are actually technologies. And the technologies are incredible moving forward. There's some technologies that banking will be built on, and not just like optional. It is going to be the way that banking is built on. There's coins that have brought to the world new technologies for tracking packages, tracking anything. You can use this Bitcoin technology in a lot of different ways. And a lot of these coins are, they're representative of a company that does actually do stuff, right? Is that how you feel, John?
Absolutely. That's the the most important thing is it going to be solving a problem? Is it going to be creating something? Is it going to be allowing things? I mean, let's just talk for a minute. And we just have I just got a text from Paul. He's got an issue with his phone. He's not going to be able to jump on today, but hopefully we'll have him on back for next week. Yeah. But let's shift gears here a little bit, since we're on the topic of crypto, and let's talk about where do we buy? Okay, where do we feel are the safest places to buy and hold your crypto? I talked about some cryptos being able to earn interest. Let's talk a little bit about that. And I think it's important, since we're on that topic, to really kind of enlighten people that may have no idea just how safe it is. I also posted a video yesterday that was shared by Anthony Pompliano. If you haven't listened to Anthony Pompliano, he's a huge Bitcoin proponent. He has some of the most influential people on his shows and podcasts. And he had a video that he shared of the Chair Powell from the Fed, the Federal Reserve, and he's being asked by another senator, what are your intentions with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin? And they said that the U.S. has no intentions of banning cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that type of stuff. There is going to be some regulations implemented, of course, should be. And I think that once we have regulations that everybody understands, I think it's going to make the normal person, the regular person that's not really a risk taker, more comfortable going into that foray. But the first platform that I really want to talk about is Coinbase. It is a publicly traded company on the stock market.
Hmm.
So it has been vetted by the SEC and the government. They're able to operate and do business. When I first started, it was the only place that I would buy and hold my cryptocurrencies. Um, so another one of your favorite platforms that you enjoy working with?
I actually use quite a few. And for those of you that are new, it might be overwhelming. You can very happily tiptoe in, even with Robinhood.
Yeah,
I wouldn't advise it. And if you want to know why, you can message us and comment, and we'll get back to that. But Robinhood, you can start tiptoeing into this and learning your way. Um, but there are some much better choices once you get a little more advanced. Kraken, which was developed by two young guys. Great exchange. I use that. I use Uphold. I think you do as well. Just because there are some coins that we really strongly believe in the future that are not on Coinbase.
right.
Coinbase is a centralized exchange. They list the coins that they choose to. They're a company. They're a for-profit company. So they list the coins they choose to. Some of these other exchanges list other assets, and that's why you have to go onto them. BlockFi. I know you're a big fan of BlockFi because
Love BlockFi.
you earn interest just
Sure,
for parking your assets there. BlockFi is
absolutely.
another great one. And then there's some of the smaller ones like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, which again. I wouldn't recommend starting there. It takes a little bit more work, and you have to have a certain coin to get into that exchange to be able to trade it for what you really want. That's
Sure.
a little more advanced, but those are some of the ones that I use.
Well, let me just mention BlockFi real quick because again, I love
Mhm.
BlockFi. There are other options out there that you can use, but you have cash. Okay, I don't care whether you're living paycheck to paycheck or whatever. Let's just say you have a little bit of money. It's in your savings account. Say $5,000, right? It is earning you zero. And if you don't have direct deposit in your checking account that's linked to it, you're probably being charged a monthly fee and yada yada yada.
Mhm.
If you've got that, and let's just the savings account, you're a lot of times you're not going to need to use, and if you need to use it, could you have a couple days that you go get it, right? So if you have BlockFi, you can buy what's called a stable coin, which is literally the
Mhm.
equivalent of a dollar, but it's stable, it never changes price. And BlockFi provides 8% interest on that coin just to hold it there. And if you need it, you can transfer it through an ACH back to your bank. It takes 24 to 48 hours for it to clear. But that $5,000 that you have for a year in that account will earn 8%
Mhm.
versus zero. So that's compounding interest. I mean, when people talk about investing and getting returns to be safe, obviously you can have stocks that gain 100%, but they can lose 100%.
Mhm.
People looking for safe returns, most people are looking for 8 to 9% on an annual basis.
Yeah.
So for them to give you 8% on cash or stable
Mhm.
coins, it's fantastic. If you own Bitcoin, they're going to give you anywhere between, depending on how much you have in there, anywhere between 4 to 5%. Ethereum, they're going to give you 4.5%. Chainlink, which is
Mhm.
another cryptocurrency that we love, they're giving you 3.5%. So they're literally just for you to hold it there, which it's secure. It has
Mhm.
two-step authentication. So just like your bank, if you have to log in and you forget your password, they're going to send you a text or an email to log. It's all the same security, if not more. So unless they actually have all your information or cloned your phone or something that they can do anything with your bank account as well, it's the only way you're going to lose your cryptocurrency. So
Yep.
very, very safe. And again, BlockFi is another company that's based in the U.S. It's probably going to be a publicly traded company in the next, I don't know,
Mhm.
say 9 to 12 months. So they're actually have applied for it as well. So again, very safe platforms to go ahead and buy. Obviously, there are some other ones like Voyager,
Yep.
Celsius that are very
Mhm.
similar that give you interest on your coins. Some offer different, maybe a little bit better interest on certain coins, but don't offer, so it's a give or take. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Celsius is not a U.S. based company, so I want to keep everything in the U.S. if possible.
Right.
Voyager again is an app-based program, so you can't log in on your computer. You've got to log in through your phone to get into Voyager. But again, they offer very, very solid interest rates on whatever cryptocurrency that you're holding. So again, those are some of my favorites. And like I said, it's been really exciting to see what's happened over these last 18 months with cryptocurrency. But
Hmm.
real quick, I want you to touch on again for those that have invested in cryptocurrency
Hmm.
or are thinking about investing in cryptocurrency. Talk about the importance of having an exit strategy, or what we're thinking about. Because I know you and I have talked about
Absolutely.
this at length. So share with our listeners, what we feel our exit strategy is going to
Well,
be.
yeah, absolutely. And actually, I'll bring our screen back up again because this is why we need an exit strategy. Hang on one second here. All right. So again, as you can see, and let me scroll out. Let me go to a day, and let me scroll way out. So you can see, looking at how, how big it rises. And this run went from a $1,000 coin to a $19,000 coin. That is a huge return. But you can see it hit the top and zooms right back down and kind of went back down to 7. So yeah, you're still in the profit, but ideally you want to, grab it somewhere around here. And we do not we're not financial advisors here, but the people that are much smarter than you and I, one of the things we talk about, or one of the things that they talk about, is don't try and time the top, because you won't. Set yourself a realistic goal. And there are coins, and that it becomes what we do every day. What John and I do every day. We stay in the news. We watch the people that are smarter than me. A lot of these guys are privy to information that we don't get. There is a lot of behind the scenes information. They do share it, which is nice. So, listening to what they believe are some of the returns on certain coins. So if they say in this run, and we're talking about from now until about December, maybe January, we'll have to see how things go. Some coins they're expecting to, 3 times, a multiple of 3. Some of them they're expecting a multiple of 10. Bitcoin right now, it's having a great day. It's at 47.5. There's a lot of people, a lot of people expect it to be 100,000 ish or more, by December. They're actually predicting in December for it to be 120. And again, some people think it's going to continue to go up from there, but that's where there's a big trade-off between greed and being smart. So once you have got to a really comfortable position, take some profit. You don't have to sell everything, but start taking some profit on the way up. Once you're up 5 times your initial investment, take 15% off, and if it keeps going up, great, you're still making money. If it tanks, you took some off at the top. But definitely, taking profit is a very wise thing, and it's hard. I hear it all the time. A lot of people don't want to take their money out and then watch it keep going up. It's
Nobody
good.
nobody got broke taking
Right.
profit.
It's good. So, but take profit on the way up, though, because that's how
Absolutely.
you're going to win it this
That's yeah. I just want to echo that. So we know from again previous history, it doesn't repeat, it rhymes, they say. What the market cycles are now. This year is definitely different from previous markets. We have a lot more banks, institutions, governments, buying Bitcoin. The president of El Salvador saying, "Hey, I bought the dip,"
week.
for his country. I mean, that's huge. And there's going to be other countries out there that are going to be also implementing Bitcoin as legal tender, not the national tender, but legal tender. Is we kind of know where the trajectory is going. Obviously, you're going up and down on the way up, but you want to capture, like Chris said, on the way up, you're taking a portion and putting it into what we're going to do is put it in a stable coin. And then I'm going to give you some round numbers, okay? Just to throw it out there. Let's just say you bought, again, simple numbers. You bought one Bitcoin and you bought it at $50,000. We think that the top is going to be somewhere around 100, hopefully more. I think it could be a little bit more, depending on some things that are going to happen with the stock market and the ETFs being offered and launched. But let's just say that we get out at 100,000. So you've doubled your investment, right? You're now all in stablecoin. So you got $100,000 that are there in stablecoin dollars. Over the next, when the market tops, over the next 9 to 12 months, we're going to go down, and that's par for the course. We think maybe it could bottom out at 25. It could be higher. It all depends on what's happening with institutions, banks, and ETFs of how far it's going to drop. But let's just say it goes down to $25,000. We think that's somewhere around the bottom, right? We take that $100,000 and we buy back in.
Yep.
We now have not one Bitcoin, but we now have 4 Bitcoin. So now we're positioned for the next bull run. So in May of 2024, we have what's called another halving of the Bitcoin mining supply. So every 4 years, you're able to mine a certain amount of Bitcoin per day max from all the mining operations out there. It doesn't matter how many mining operations are out there. It all gets divided depending on what the daily amount is. In 2024 of May of 2024, that amount goes down by half, which means the supply is reduced dramatically. When that happens, it now triggers a supply shortage, which then triggers the rise of the price again. So let's just say, for simple numbers, at the peak of the next bull run, which could be end of 2025, let's just say it gets to $250,000, right? You have 4 Bitcoin at $250,000. Your initial investment of $50,000 is now $1 million in Bitcoin at the end. You move everything back to stablecoin. So you're locked in at that $1 million from that initial $50,000 investment, right? And now you're locked in. Now, if you want to just live off that interest, you throw in stablecoin, you get 8% a year. What's $1 million going to get you? About 80 grand a year in interest. And you don't even have to touch your Bitcoin. That can stay there for future generations forever. And it runs its course and it continue. And people are talking by the end of the decade, we could have a $750,000 to $1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah. If more countries adopt it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, so that's kind of the strategy. That's the strategy that most of the major cryptocurrencies, and it's completely different for some of the altcoins, some of the other coins that we're talking about. You really want to try to get out of all of those because they can have 90% drops, 95% drops, where Bitcoin's not going to drop as dramatically. And then whatever projects are hot and still there in the following bull run, those are the ones you want to put some of your money in. I would say whatever you're looking to invest, it's probably safe to say to put 40% in Bitcoin, maybe 40% into Ethereum, and the 20% into some of the smaller cap altcoins, depending on what your threshold is for risk. If you're risk averse, Bitcoin only. If you've got some more risk, Ethereum. I think Ethereum is a safe play for the long term as well. It is the largest of the altcoins, and I believe it's going to be not called an altcoin soon enough. It's going to be its own thing.
Absolutely.
I agree. Everything else is going to be altcoins. So that's kind of the exit strategy, kind of the strategy we have long term, and it's what a lot of the major players out there are doing. We talked about it yesterday. The Bitcoin whales. And the crypto whales are doing that. They're holding, and they know what the future holds.
Yep. No, you're right. Yeah. Anything else you want to go over?
No, I think that was a lot of information for today. I know we went a little bit long today, but I think it was important information. And we're sorry about the interview, folks, but we'll make sure it takes place next week. We'll make sure that our guest is in a place where it has a viable internet connection.
Yeah, and if you guys like this, if it helped you out, if you're interested in it and you want to find out more, drop a comment and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys, I guess, Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
I guess.